Hey guys, it's Tina, and today I'm going to be unboxing Cong Design's latest puzzle, the MeiYing. Alright guys, so as usual, I did pre-order this puzzle from the Cubicle. Now, even though people have already said that this puzzle is nothing too special, I still am really excited about it, so let's go ahead and get into the package. So there should only be one thing in this package, and that is the puzzle. However, because I did pre-order it, I did partake in the free sticker promotion. And I do want to get the receipt out just in case my address is on top, which I think it is. So I'm going to go ahead and pull that out and put it off to the side. And then we can go ahead and pull everything out of the package. So there we have everything. There is nothing left in there. So here we have the sticker set, like I said. But let's move on to the main attraction, which is the cube. Here we have the Cong's Design box, which I love. I know it's just a box, but I really like the design of this box. Although mine is a little bit beat up, but that's okay. As long as the cube's alright, I'm okay. So let's go ahead and get into this. So there we have a little pamphlet that comes with it. Very nice and compact, I guess. I don't know if this has any of their other puzzles in it, or if it's just the solution guide. I think it's just the solution guide, right? Yeah, it's just a solution guide. Alright, put that off to the side. And there we have the puzzle and the amazing onion logo. That is fantastic. So there is the puzzle. It is, of course, wrapped in plastic, so I'm going to go ahead and get that off. And here we have the MeiYing, all out of its packaging and ready to go. On top, it has the onion logo, which is the logo for Cong's Design. This is the white side, looks very nice. So we have the yellow side on the bottom, which is a fluorescent yellow, a fluorescent green, standard red, a pretty standard blue. It's nice though, I like that blue, and then the horrible orange. But that's okay, that's why I got these stickers to go with it, so I can change that later. So let's go ahead and get into first turns, because I'm very excited to test this thing out. So here we go. Oh wow, this is quite different than what I was expecting. I was expecting this puzzle to be somewhat like the YueYing, like maybe an improvement or feel something similar, but this cube feels nothing like that cube. That's really interesting. Wow. This cube, I want to say it's smooth, but it's kind of not, because it feels a bit bumpy, but it's not clicky or crunchy, so it's kind of a very weird feeling, but I kind of like it. So this cube does feel quite dry. It feels a tad bit scratchy, which is interesting. Now that scratchiness I'm sure is going to go away, because all MeiYing products nowadays come scratchy and then it disappears after you've broken in the puzzle. So far I'm actually enjoying this puzzle quite a bit, and I'm actually really excited to go ahead and start solving with it. But before I do that, I want to do a brief comparison between this and the YueYing. But here I have the YueYing, which was Cong Design's technically first 3x3, at least under their brand. And this is the MeiYing. So I'll actually switch these so this makes a little bit more sense. So if we take a look up close at both these puzzles, we can see they actually are quite different from each other. This puzzle here is definitely more square, and then on the MeiYing, the puzzle, each piece kind of has its own defined shape. So the corners are square, whereas the edges are a bit rounded. But overall, they do look quite similar. I'm going to go ahead and take these apart, and so we can take a closer look at the pieces and do a very quick comparison. Okay, so I've taken apart both puzzles, and before we move on, I do want to say that the MeiYing, I actually had to loosen it a bit to get the pieces out, so that's a good indication that this cube will probably be pretty hard to pop, so that's always nice. So I'm going to go ahead and start with the corners and do a comparison here. So this side is the YueYing, and then this side over here on the right is the MeiYing. So let's take a close-up look. Wow, this actually looks kind of different. The first thing that I noticed is that there's actually a little indent here on the side of the corner, which is definitely not there on the YueYing. However, the rest of the corner does look very similar. There's definitely these little gaps or holes in the corners, as well as the corner stock looks very similar as well. So very similar overall basic design, but they do have some minor changes here, so very cool. So those are the corners. Let's go ahead and move on to the edges. So here we have the edges, if the YueYing would let go. So here we have the edges, and they do look very similar. I don't see anything too different right now. Yeah, they look pretty much the same. I don't really see anything too different, to be honest. The only thing that I can tell that's different is that the MeiYing has a bit more rounded edge, whereas the YueYing is just a flat edge. That's really the only difference between these two pieces here. So those are the edges. I'm going to go ahead and put those back, and then I'll put these cubes back together, and we will wrap up with my final thoughts on the MeiYing. Alright guys, so I am back. I finished putting this cube back together, and I'm ready to give you guys my final first impressions of this cube. Turning is quite interesting. It's very smooth, with a kind of a bumpy feeling to it. Now, it's not clicky or crunchy at all, so don't confuse the bumpiness with clickiness or crunchiness. It is a smoother puzzle. This puzzle also feels a lot like the YueYing, however, it feels sort of like an improved version of the YueYing. This puzzle feels quite smooth, whereas to me, the YueYing feels quite clunky. I still like this puzzle a lot, but it just feels a bit clunky and a bit just not super smooth to me, and I don't use it as much because I actually prefer my LiYing over this puzzle. However, this puzzle, the MeiYing, feels like an improved version of that. It feels much smoother and less clunky. Now, I will say that if you are a fan of something like the LiYing or the YueYing, or you use something different and you're really happy with it, then there's really no reason to go ahead and get this puzzle. However, if you are somebody who loved the LiYing or the YueYing and you're looking for a new puzzle, then maybe look into this puzzle. It is a good puzzle and I do recommend it. So if you were going to get it, I do recommend this puzzle. However, I wouldn't rush out and buy it because it is basically just sort of another puzzle to add to the mix, and it isn't great, but I still really like it a lot. Alright guys, so that is pretty much it for this unboxing. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it, and hopefully I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye guys!